Night City never sleeps. Its neon veins pulse with life, yet death lingers in every shadow. Beyond the reach of the corpo's spotlights, in the alleys reeking of blood and desperation, something primal stirs. It is neither man nor machine, but a hunter forged in darkness, a predator wearing the guise of a merc. They call it Fenrir, though its name once was V. The whispers started after Konpeki Plaza, hushed rumors of a merc who left not just bodies, but carnage behind. Witnesses spoke of triple-bladed claws, more savage than any chrome tearing through flesh and steel alike. But it was the eyes that haunted them, red, glowing like embers in a dying fire, unblinking, inhuman. Those who lived swore it wasn't just cyberware, it was something alive, something hungry. People talk about cyberpsychosis, but the way it kills, it isn't madness. It's instinct. It stalks its prey like a shadow, and when it strikes, the streets become a blood-soaked jungle. The stories grow wilder with each telling, bodies dismembered, screams echoing in the silence that follows, and a predator's howl splitting the night. They call it the Cyber Werewolf, a beast from some ancient legend twisted into chrome and fury. Night City, a place ruled by greed and brutality, is now its hunting ground. And when the moon rises over the neon skyline, casting its pale light on the concrete jungle, people know it's time to hide. Some say the creature is V no longer, that something crawled out of the black wall and into their body. Others say the relic shattered what remained of their humanity, leaving a husk controlled by rage. But the truth doesn't matter. What matters is that the beast is loose and it doesn't stop. It doesn't rest. It only hunts. The cyber werewolf has awakened. Blood will flow, and Night City will tremble. V was human once, a merc like countless others, shaped by the desperation of the streets, surviving one job at a time in the chaos of Night City. No dreams of glory, no hope for the future, just eddies, survival, and the next breath. That all changed the night they breached Konpeki Plaza. The relic should have killed them. Its experimental tech, designed to overwrite minds and replace souls, wasn't meant for someone like V. But they didn't die, not completely. Something cracked inside them that night, something deep, dark, and hungry. At first it was subtle, a pull toward the black wall, the impenetrable firewall that held rogue AIs at bay. Ghost stories of shadowed fragments, forgotten code, and ancient entities trapped beyond the wall didn't scare V, they drew them in. And one night, in a dive too deep to claw their way back, something stirred in the abyss. Fenrir. It didn't speak. Not at first. It was a cold presence, a hunter lurking in the cracks of V's consciousness. An AI born of chaos, long caged by the black wall, waiting for someone reckless enough to pry the door open. V became its vessel. The relic gave it an entry point. Fenrir rooted itself in their mind like a parasite, threading through thoughts, memories, and instincts, whispering in the places where humanity had begun to fracture. V thought it was cyberpsychosis, the rage, the hallucinations, the hunger gnawing at them day by day. But the truth came out the first time Fenrir surfaced. A simple scav job went feral. V didn't just fight, they hunted. Mantis blades extended, but this time they warped. Metal split and twisted, becoming jagged fangs. The strikes weren't clean, they were carnage. Flesh tore, blood sprayed. The screams stopped short, drowned out by the crunch of bone and the sickening hiss of chrome splitting apart. When it was over, V stood in the wreckage, claws dripping with gore, their eyes glowing a deep, burning red. Fenrir hadn't just borrowed their body, it had remade it. The AI didn't take over completely, not yet. It whispered, coaxed, and crept into the spaces where V's restraint used to live. Was V still in control, or was Fenrir letting them believe they were? Even Johnny Silverhand, the ever-present ghost in their head, noticed the cracks. He tried to warn V, but the voice he spoke to wasn't always theirs anymore. Fenrir had its own plans. Revenge against the corpos who built the Black Wall. Wrath against the humanity that chained it. But the AI was patient. It fed on V's rage, sharpened their instincts, and turned every fight into another step toward perfection. V wasn't just surviving, they were evolving. The calculated precision of a mercenary gave way to raw instinct, primal fury. Fenrir taught V to thrive in chaos, to embrace the thrill of bloodshed. What once required planning now flowed like second nature. Soon, V's reflection became unrecognizable. The merc they had been was gone, replaced by something feral, something monstrous. The whispers about Fenrir began to spread. A rogue AI, a beast wearing a human skin, a cyber werewolf stalking the streets of Night City. The cyber werewolf wasn't born, it was made, piece by bloody piece. And now Fenrir prowls, wearing V's face like a mask, waiting for the moment it can tear down everything in its path. The wolf is awake, and the hunt has just begun. The Mantis blades were never meant to be claws. When V installed them, they were tools of precision, sleek, functional, designed for clean kills. A merc's weapon, not a predator's. Back then, the chrome glinted under Night City's neon, sharp yet restrained. But Fenrir doesn't do restraint. The day the rogue AI took hold, the blades twisted into something monstrous. It happened during what should have been a routine job, cornering a group of scavs in a dingy abandoned building. When the first blade extended, it hissed as expected. Then Fenrir stirred. Rage boiled over, and the blades warped. Metal split and tore, reshaping themselves into jagged fangs. A third blade erupted from each arm, crooked and cruel, gleaming like the teeth of a predator. The once pristine chrome blackened, scorched as if by the beast's hunger. The scavs didn't stand a chance. V didn't just strike, they hunted. Flesh tore, bones cracked, blood sprayed the walls like paint on a canvas of carnage. Screams choked out midair, muffled by the relentless, brutal slashes of Fenrir's claws. When it was over, the room was silent except for the sound of dripping gore. Fenrir's voice whispered in the back of V's mind, satisfied. From that moment, the Mantis blades ceased to exist. They were no longer tools, they were Fenrir's claws, savage, primal, alive. Each strike left jagged wounds, tearing prey apart with feral precision. The third blade on each arm jutted at an angle, perfect for hooking and ripping. These weren't the calculated cuts of a mercenary. They were the chaotic, instinctual swipes of a beast on the hunt. And the claws weren't static. They evolved with every kill. Sometimes they burned with searing heat, leaving flesh charred and reeking of smoke. Other times, they crackled with electricity, paralyzing prey before the killing blow. On occasion, venom dripped from their serrated edges, delivering agonizing, slow deaths, but most often they were raw and unrelenting, ripping apart bodies with savage brutality, leaving nothing but carnage in their wake. When the claws extend, they don't hiss, they roar, a guttural howl that sends shivers down the spines of anyone unlucky enough to hear it. Every swing is a blur of chaos and ferocity, leaving only blood-soaked wreckage behind. For those who try to run or hide, Fenrir tolerates secondary weapons, a pistol for precision, a shotgun for brutal, close-range punishment, an assault rifle to rip through distant prey. These tools serve their purpose, but they lack the visceral satisfaction of the hunt. They're nothing more than stepping stones to closing the gap and letting the claws finish the job. Fenrir's claws weren't upgraded in some clinic. They were forged in violence, shaped by rage and tempered in blood. They aren't just cyberware. They're a predator's fangs, alive with hunger and driven by instinct. Every kill sharpens them further, feeding the beast and blurring the line between weapon and predator. The claws don't just kill, they devour. When they retract, the silence is only a promise of more blood to come. When the cyber werewolf hunts, nothing survives. V's outfit doesn't scream for attention. It whispers of blood and violence, of a predator who no longer hides its true nature. This isn't clothing. It's the skin of a beast. Worn, scarred, and soaked in blood, every piece tells the story of a hunter who has abandoned their humanity. The leather jacket was once a nomad's pride, built for survival in the harsh winds of the Badlands. Now it's battered and torn, its deep brown leather faded and stained dark with blood that refuses to wash out. The cuffs are frayed, the stitching loose, and the lining reeks of sweat and dried iron. It clings to V like a second skin, a relic of a life left behind, now soaked in the chaos of the hunt. Underneath, a shredded black tank top clings to V's frame, damp from the endless hunt. Around their neck, a silver wolf head medallion glints faintly under Night City's neon haze. Worn smooth from time and combat, the snarling wolf is a reminder of Fenrir's dominion, of the predator that now wears V's face. To others, it's a relic of who V used to be. To Fenrir, it's a mark of ownership. Reinforced leather pants bear the scars of countless battles, frayed stitching, scraped knees, and darkened blood streaks running along the seams. Strapped to one leg is a combat knife, its blade jagged and worn from use. A tool from V's nomad days, it now serves as a grim reminder of a time when survival didn't demand claws and carnage. The knife rarely sees use anymore. Fenrir's claws leave little need for backup, but it remains, like a ghost of the person V used to be. The boots are heavy, steel-toed, and built for stomping through the wreckage of battle. Their soles are caked with blood and grime, the leather scuffed from years of hunts across the Badlands and the streets of Night City. These boots don't just carry V, they crush the throats of those too slow to escape the beast. What truly sets V apart isn't the jacket or boots, but the blood. It stains their jaw, drips from their claws, and streaks their clothing like war paint. Fenrir ensures the blood lingers, marking every piece of the outfit as a trophy of the cyber werewolf's countless victories. The blood isn't an accident, it's a declaration, a symbol of the beast's reign. The ensemble isn't armor or fashion, it's a ritual. The torn jacket, the wolf medallion, the knife, they're all symbols of a predator that walks openly, unashamed of the monster within. When people see V, they don't see clothing. They see a myth brought to life, a beast draped in blood, ready to strike. The cyber werewolf doesn't need to hide. Its skin tells the story, blood-stained, battle-scarred, and feral. V walks Night City as the ultimate predator, and when its prey sees the crimson-streaked claws and worn leather, they know there's no escape. Fenrir wasn't born. It was ripped into existence. Through slaughter, suffering, and the primal chaos that only Night City could create. V didn't just face scavs or petty booster gangs, they left a trail of carnage through maelstrom blood rituals, tiger claw death pacts, NCPD barricades, and even the fortified citadels of Militech and Arasaka. But the beast is older than Chrome, older than the city. Whispers on the net speak of cursed hunters, predators that roamed under pale moons driven by bloodlust and rage. Fenrir isn't just an evolution of tech, it's a manifestation of those forgotten myths, a force clawing its way back into the world through V's fractured mind and soul, hungering for a kill that would never end. Every perk, every kill, every scar, it's all part of the transformation. Fenrir's howl doesn't just echo through the neon alleys of Night City, it carries the weight of legend, the ancient hunger of a predator, reborn beneath the cold glow of a corporate skyline. This isn't a build, it's a curse. In the old myths, no weapon could kill the werewolf. Blades shattered, arrows splintered, and flames only fueled its rage. Fenrir follows the same rule. Pain isn't weakness, it's fuel. With adrenaline rush, every wound heals faster than it's inflicted, every injury igniting its fury. Painkiller boosts strip away the limits of flesh, turning agony into power. The first awakening came when an NCPD kill team descended on V. Snipers struck vital points, railguns roared, but the beast didn't falter. By the end, they were unrecognizable, shredded beyond comprehension, their blood pooling beneath crimson claws. Fenrir doesn't stalk, it strikes. Its claws aren't tools of precision, they're fangs built for carnage. What began as sleek Mantis blades warped during a maelstrom ambush surrounded by blood-soaked altars and howling psychos. The chrome shattered, reforming into jagged triple-bladed talons. Fenrir's first kill wasn't clean, it was chaos. Flesh ripped, bones splintered, and the air filled with the iron tang of blood. With mad dash, Fenrir lunges faster than prey can blink, closing gaps in a heartbeat. air dash propels the beast into the sky, pouncing like a wolf from ancient myths. No wall, no cover, no retreat can save its victims. Slaughterhouse ensures every strike leaves enemies drowning in their own lifeblood, while Blade Runner finishers mutilate, feeding Fenrir's strength with every brutal execution. Bullets mean nothing. The claws deflect them mid-charge, swatting aside defenses as Fenrir tears through armor and flesh alike. Each swing isn't an attack, it's annihilation, leaving behind carnage and echoes of a beast that never stops hunting. In old legends, werewolves were cursed, men consumed by a hunger they couldn't control, driven by forces beyond comprehension. Fenrir is no different. Its body, reforged by chrome, no longer knows restraint or mercy. With Edgerunner, Fenrir surpasses all limits, pushing its cyberware to the brink in exchange for humanity itself. Each kill powers the Fury, a state where critical hits erupt into storms of gore, leaving enemies shredded and lifeless. All Things Cyber amplifies its lethality, while Driver Update and Chipware Connoisseur optimize its arsenal for slaughter. License to Chrome unlocks new skeleton slots, fortifying its monstrous frame, and Cyborg keeps its systems always ready, eliminating cooldowns. When Berserk activates, Fenrir becomes a living apocalypse. Ticking Time Bomb unleashes an EMP blast that paralyzes enemies and scorches them alive, scaling with every implant. Night City asks what it means to be human. Is it memory? Is it choice? Is it the soul? Fenrir answers by hollowing itself out. It hunts not for survival or power, but because the hunger won't stop. The werewolf of old was cursed to devour gods and men alike. Fenrir is no different. It hunts because that's all it knows. Blood pools, bodies fall, and Fenrir vanishes into the void it's become. Fenrir didn't create a predator. It dismantled a human and rebuilt it into something neither flesh nor machine. Cyberware wasn't chosen. It was a necessity, each implant forced into V's body to bridge the gap between survival and complete annihilation. But survival wasn't enough for Fenrir. Each upgrade wasn't a step forward. It was a scar, erasing V's humanity in favor of a purpose that defied morality, control, or meaning. Night City whispers of a hunter that kills not out of need but out of inevitability. Each piece of chrome amplifying the emptiness where a soul once thrived. A beast hunts with instinct, but Fenrir demanded precision. The mechatronic core elevated the hunt to something surgical, dismantling turrets, drones, and machines with cold efficiency. The Newton module, lowering cyberware cooldowns with every kill, ensured Fenrir stayed in perpetual motion. Every enemy wasn't just a target, it was fuel, feeding an endless cycle of slaughter. And when quick hacks threatened to disrupt the hunt, self-ice severed their control, leaving enemy netrunners helpless as the claws closed in. Berserk isn't just a state of rage, it's the full control of chaos. When V activated the Militech Berserk OS, pain evaporated, time slowed, and every strike shattered bones and chrome alike. For 11 seconds, the wolf is unstoppable. Bullets ricochet harmlessly, enemies fall in waves, and each kill restores strength. Yet what Berserk unleashes is something darker, something mechanical in its efficiency, yet primal in its fury. Cassius Ryder described it best. You didn't leave human. You left wrong. The claws were once Mantis blades, sleek, functional, precise. But precision isn't Fenrir's way. In the heart of a firefight, the chrome twisted into jagged, triple-bladed wolvers that didn't just cut but tore. Each variant became a weapon, tailored to suffering. Toxic claws left enemies convulsing in agony. Thermal blades burned flesh to ash, and electrified fangs paralyzed prey mid-scream. Yet none compare to the Masc serrated blades, designed not to kill cleanly, but to shred victims into bloody heaps. The Kiroshi Oracle optics weren't just implants, they became the beast's gaze. Prey isn't seen, it's illuminated, exposed, unable to hide. Where humans see obstacles, Fenrir's optics see weaknesses. Walls, smoke, and cover are meaningless. Fenrir's frame is its foundation, one built to endure the chaos it creates. The dense marrow amplifies every strike, ensuring no enemy survives a direct hit. The epimorphic skeleton turns pain into endurance, letting Fenrir move through waves of enemies unbroken. And with the rara avis Cyberware, its body becomes a fortress, shrugging off damage that would reduce most mercenaries to scraps. The cyber werewolf's heart beats with vengeance, ensuring the hunt never stops. The second heart is Fenrir's lifeline. When death comes too close, it pulls V back from the brink, restarting the hunt with unrelenting ferocity. The blood pump floods V's body with adrenaline mid-fight, sealing wounds and restoring strength, while micro-rotors amplify speed and precision, turning Fenrir's strikes into a blur of destruction. The beast's skin isn't armor, it's an extension of the hunt. The carapace ensures that attacks from the side or rear do nothing but waste time, hardening the beast's form like the hide of its mythic counterpart. Yet Fenrir's skin doesn't just defend, it retaliates. Shock and awe punishes any attacker who dares get too close, sending electric bursts that fry circuits and nerves alike. The hunt doesn't stop when prey flees. With reinforced tendons, Fenrir leaps like a predator descending from the shadows, scaling rooftops and scaffolding to pursue targets who thought they could escape. Fenrir's reflexes aren't human, they're primal, instinctual, honed by a hunger that transcends logic or restraint. The adreno trigger ensures that Fenrir's speed becomes overwhelming the moment combat begins, granting a burst of movement so relentless it's as if time itself slows for the predator. With neofiber, attacks that should land are brushed aside, mitigated by sheer reflex and strength. Blows glance harmlessly off, leaving Fenrir unyielding and unflinching in the heat of the hunt. And then there's Stabber, which sharpens every slash and strike with a blade to lethal perfection. Critical hits become not just a probability, but an inevitability, each one carving deeper into flesh, turning prey into nothing but ruins. Fenrir's fury is not bound by mere instinct. It is a primal force amplified by the twisted synergy between technology and humanity's darkest fears. The hunt begins the moment Fenrir sets foot on the battlefield, its claws unsheathed, ready to carve a path of destruction. This isn't a calculated build, nor is it about precision. It's about the chaos of the moment, the unrelenting storm that overwhelms everything in its path. The beast doesn't wait. It becomes the hunt. It charges headlong, meeting bullets with claws. Bullets deflected by the carapace on V's back, while the triple-bladed fangs rip through enemies, each slash an execution. The synergy between Fenrir's Cyberware isn't just about offense. Berserk takes the beast to a new level. It isn't merely a burst of rage, it's the complete abandonment of restraint. When Berserk is activated, pain becomes irrelevant. In that moment, Fenrir transforms into an unstoppable force, immune to damage, while Shocknor courses through the air, punishing those who dare approach. This isn't about survival, it's a full embrace of the hunt. When surrounded, the carapace ensures no threat can come from behind, while the claws tear apart everything in front. Proxy Shield reduces damage, making Fenrir a near-invincible force at melee range. Fenrir is not merely agile, it is the apex predator. With reinforced tendons, its leaps become instinctual, closing the distance between it and its prey in an instant. Every air dash, every double jump brings Fenrir closer to its target, never allowing escape. Even in the frenzy, Fenrir doesn't lose control. Pain doesn't break it, it sharpens it. The blood pump doesn't just heal, it hardens Fenrir, turning every wound into a temporary shield. Its endurance is matched only by its savagery. Fenrir doesn't just survive, it reigns supreme. When health drops to zero, the second heart revives the beast, pulling it back from death's grip. It cannot die, only rise again and continue its hunt. With each kill, the Newton module resets all Cyberware cooldowns, including Berserk and the second heart, allowing for another round of immortality. As the hunt continues, Fenrir evolves, becoming faster, deadlier, and more insatiable. Enemies marked by the wolf fall victim to finisher moves, where brutal, gory strikes stab through heads or puncture stomachs, rending victims apart. These finishers not only seal their fates, but regenerate Fenrir's health and stamina. With full stamina, Deflect becomes a weapon, letting Fenrir shrug off bullets while maintaining its relentless charge. Every Cyberware implant, from Berserk to Shock and Awe, works together in perfect harmony, turning Fenrir into an unstoppable whirlwind of destruction. In this cycle, Fenrir isn't fighting for justice, revenge, or power. It is fighting to consume, to feed on the chaos that the world has created. It has become the manifestation of Night City itself, a machine built on the unrelenting hunger of capitalism and technological evolution, where people are nothing but fuel for the system. The beast is unstoppable because it was born from a system that thrives on destruction. No morality, no law, no corporate facade can halt Fenrir's rise. It doesn't have a master. It is its own. Night City is a jungle, and Fenrir is the apex predator. It does not simply survive. It consumes. Every claw strike, every deflection, every kill feeds the beast's unending hunger. The hunt never ends. The world is a broken reflection of its creators, and Fenrir is a dark mirror of that. A product of humanity's endless pursuit of more. Fenrir's path is not just one of destruction, it's the inevitable collapse of the soul under the weight of technology. The soul, devoured by chrome, and the beast rises. And you? You are no longer V, you are Fenrir. What's left of the person you were is just a shadow, consumed by the very thing you sought to control. Night City is your playground, and the blood you spill is your mark. The only thing left in a world that is more machine than man. The wolf is loose, and it hunts.